Oh,
Yo, what's up, guys? It is Bryce, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Two Bros Podcast. As always, I am Bryce, and I am joined by.
hey, I'm Matt. I'm the other
Oh,
brother.
alrighty. So today we are going to recap some of the key things about week two, and we're going to start off with some QB injuries. So let's start off with the big one first, because on Sunday, much to a lot of fantasy football owners, devastation. Joe Burrow is out for 3 months because he suffered turf toe and had to have surgery. So, in a corresponding move, Jake Browning was named the starter. They signed Brett Rippon to the active roster, and then they signed Mike White and Sean Clifford to their practice squads. How do we feel like this is going to affect the Bengals
I
from here on
mean,
out?
I think this obviously takes them out of a genuine contender, out of being a genuine contender. I think they're a fringe playoff team at best. 3 months puts them at about around December for when Joe Burrow comes back. That means Jake Browning has to get them through about six games, and they're 2-0 right now. If they can win four of those games, then they can stay in the hunt. But you have to question what kind of player Joe Burrow's gonna be when he come back. I really think this kind of spells the end for their season.
It's more than 6 games. It's going to be 10 or 11 at least because it's 3 months. So it's
Oh,
11
I forgot
games
it's
at the
3 months.
most. Yeah.
Forgot it's three
So
months.
I feel like if the only chance Joe Burrow has to come back this year is if the Bengals are in playoff contention by the time December comes
Which
around.
I don't believe can happen.
And and let's be honest, the only reason why the Bengals were even relevant last year is because of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. And this year they're not going to have one of them for most of the year. So I
It's
think
not the whole
the
year.
Bengals are the Bengals are
They're
done.
finito.
Yeah.
Their season's
Alrighty.
over.
So the next one happened before all of the other ones we're going to talk about. Jaden Daniels sprained his ankle on Thursday Night Football, and he is questionable to play. Meaning, and Marcus Mariota took media questions today, and usually that's what the starting quarterback does. Meaning, Marcus Mariota may start on Sunday.
Yeah, that's
How do you think that this hurts the Commanders?
depending on how long he's out for, it really doesn't hurt them too much. If he misses like 2 to 3 weeks, I don't think that does much to them. They're 1-1. Mariota is a serviceable player. They have a decent defense. I don't think this is a season ender like we're looking at with Joe Burrow, but it depends on how long he's sitting out for. I still think the Commanders are gonna have a team where they're probably gonna make the playoffs anyways. So I don't think this is too big of a deal. Hurts my fantasy team a lot, but doesn't hurt the Commanders.
Yeah, it'll probably hurt. He'll probably be out 1 week because the fact that he is only questionable right now, and they're not he's not practicing until Friday. He's not practicing at all this week. So they're gonna give him time to rest his ankle, and he may end up playing, meaning he may not miss a game, meaning we may be fine. Jaden Daniels, fantasy football owners.
Mm.
Alrighty. Next, and the other one that happened, this one happened on Sunday as well. It happened in the fourth quarter of their game. Justin Fields suffered a concussion. They already named him out, meaning Tyrod Taylor is going to start week three. Do you think this helps or hurts the Jets
I
with this
think this
news?
doesn't change the trajectory of them at all. They're generally just not a good team. The Jets, I mean, through 4 quarters, Justin Fields completed 3 passes. I understand this is the Bills and they have a great defense, but overall, you're getting the exact same player in Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a little bit more mobile. I don't foresee them winning their game anyways. So if he misses a game or two, I just don't think it's going to affect them pretty much at all. The only thing it
I
affects is
think
Justin Fields.
I think there's going to be a slight downgrade. I do think Justin Fields is an upgrade over Tyrod Taylor. How much of an upgrade, I don't know, but it's definitely a downgrade for sure. Alrighty, next, the last one, because I think this is arguably bigger than Jaden Daniels or Justin Fields, if you're a fan of this guy, which I am not, but it still sucks that he's hurt. JJ McCarthy suffers an ankle injury and he was put on the IR, meaning he's going to miss a minimum of 4 weeks. Carson Wentz is starting week 3 versus Cincinnati, and they signed Desmond Ridder to their active roster, meaning right now the three quarterbacks they have are Carson Wentz, Desmond Ridder, and Max Brosmer. How do you think this affects Minnesota's outcome for the next 4 weeks?
I think this might be a good thing for Minnesota. I am not one of the people who thinks that JJ McCarthy's a bad player after last week. I'm also not one of the people who thinks he's a good player. I think he is still basically a rookie and is learning his way around the league. But I think the veteran leadership of a Carson Wentz probably might be good for this team. Carson Wentz is not the guy you want leading you to a Super Bowl, but Carson Wentz is a good enough player to get you through a span of time where your quarterback's down. So I think this will actually help them a lot. I think JJ McCarthy will learn things while he's out, maybe give him the chance to actually
Yeah,
develop a little bit more than he needs to.
yeah. I I'm a guy who thinks that even though I don't like Carson Wentz, I think this is a 10-time upgrade. I think that's 10 times the upgrade. I don't think that JJ McCarthy is going to be anything special, and we have seen it with all but 1 quarter of his NFL career that he is just below average.
You really do not like Michigan players.
I don't. I don't. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to some notable non-quarterback injuries, and it's just two, because there's another injury from this game, and Aaron Jones was placed on the IR,
Yeah, I was
meaning
surprised.
Jordan Mason and Xavier Scott are going to handle RB1 and RB2 duties, and the Minnesota Vikings signed Cam Akers to their practice squad, and now he is a Minnesota Viking for the third time in 18 months. How do we think that this is going to affect the Minnesota Vikings?
I think this will have a heavy effect on them. Aaron Jones overall, he may be on the older side as a running back, but he's still a very good player. I mean, he's someone who you can completely rely on if your passing game is struggling versus Jordan Mason, who we're not really sure what you're getting out of him. This definitely hurts the run game. This definitely hurts the Vikings, and I think it makes them a more one-dimensional team.
That's fair. I love Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones is the perfect running back to have as your number one because he can pass catch, he can run, he can score touchdowns, he can pass block. I think this is a guy who can do everything, and I definitely think the effects of Aaron Jones are going to be missed for the next 4 weeks. And Jordan Mason and Xavier Scott will not be able to fill in the void
Yeah.
that Aaron Jones is going to leave. Now we have another running back because this happened as well for the Washington Commanders. It happened last Thursday night, and that was Austin Eckler tearing his Achilles. He's out for the year. Potentially, this is a career-ending injury, meaning Ja'Cory Bill Krosky Merritt's going to start. They have Jeremy McNichols and Chris Rodriguez, who are also going to get carries, and they also signed Chase Edmonds to the practice squad, and they still have Donovan Edwards on their practice squad. What do you think the Washington Commanders running back situation for the rest of the year is going to look like?
So whether he got hurt or not, I think we were going to see Merritt take over as the full-time back anyways. But this does really limit them. Austin Eckler, at this point, he is no longer the player he was in Los Angeles, but he is still a fantastic depth piece if you need someone to come out of the backfield and catch some passes. I think this hurts them a lot. It does not hurt them as much as I would say a player like Aaron Jones going down does. But I mean, he's such a vital piece. He's versatile. Merritt's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting for this team now.
You think they're really missing Brian Robinson Jr. now?
Oh
You
my
think they
gosh,
are?
so
I
much.
remember I remember you were watching I watched the TikTok that you made about the takeaways from the Packers Commanders game, and right before you said Brian Robinson, I paused it and I said they are sure missing Brian Robinson. And then you said, well, they could have really used Brian Robinson in this game. And I'm like, you and I think way too much alike
Mhm. I
because
mean,
Brian Robinson
their run game was stagnant.
it was
17
bad.
yards for like 17 yards apiece for three different people.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Brian Robinson was an established back, still pretty young. The fact that they gave him up for practically nothing, it shows they really are not sure what they're doing. And they have
Yeah.
a little too much faith in a sixth round draft pick.
Yeah. I thought he was a seventh.
Or maybe in seventh. He might have been sixth or seventh. Either way, a very late draft pick.
Alrighty. And now we're going to talk about another NFC North team because this one's big for the Bears because Jalen Johnson is placed on IR. And this is terrible because the Bears were already an absolute dumpster fire as it is. And now you have arguably their best corner out for the next 4 weeks. I don't know what this is going to look like for
I mean, they
for
lost their
them.
best defensive player for
They did.
the next 4 weeks.
They
I mean,
did.
they got with him in the game, the Lions put up 52 on them. You have to wonder what teams like Green Bay, what teams like
Even
Philly are gonna
Dallas
do
this
against
week.
them. Dallas this week is going to do against them. This, in my opinion, if he's out for a long term, I could see them falling to the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
I he
Alrighty.
he's too important to this team, and the fact that they're as bad as they are with him, yet losing him may take them to the worst team.
Alrighty. Now, to save time, we're not going to talk about Jadeveon Clowney. We're just going to move to the game takeaways. First game we want to talk about is Philadelphia and Kansas City. What are your takeaways from this game?
Both of those teams are not as good as they were last year. Um, Philly is way too reliant on the tush push. You saw my TikTok about this.
Sure.
Philly is a very one-dimensional team. Jalen Hurts has yet to pass 250 yards in either game. Um, Overall, they're not passing the ball much, and if they are, they're doing short little passes. AJ Brown is barely being used. Saquon Barkley is getting, I think, like 3 to 5 yards a carry. It just feels like their basic entire game plan is get to third and one or third and two, and then do the tush push. For Kansas City, their defense looks terrible. They can't stop anything. And I'm really interested to see what they do against the Giants this week, who are a very average team, actually a very bad team,
They're a
and
bad team.
see if this is a bounce back game or if this is a trap game.
Alrighty, I everything you said, I said. Although I do think that Philly has come under the circumstance where they've faced two really two an underrated team in the Cowboys, and then a really solid defense in Kansas City, and you saw them shut down Philly's offense, and they looked really solid against a team that absolutely beat the lights out of them last 9 months or 7 months ago.
I,
Already. Now we're going to talk about the another NFC East team because now we're going to talk about two. We're going to talk about the Cowboys and the Giants. This was the best game of the week, and this game just was score after score after score after score in the fourth quarter.
that game had me on my toes. I was keeping up with that game because it was I think it was one of the 1 o'clock games, right?
It was one of the early games, yeah.
Yeah, so I was watching some of the games in my house, getting ready to leave and spend my day. And I look at my phone and I'm like, oh, I guess the Giants won this game. Brandon Aubrey is the best kicker in the league, and there's no question about it. That guy, get past the 50 and he got it. 100%. He
Get past
outstanding.
the 60, you got it.
Dude, they have to pay him. And that means
He'll
I
be
feel
a,
like there's gonna be a
which
trade
means
the
he'll be
Packers
he'll be
coming
a
soon.
Packer next year. Or he'll be a Packer in the next few weeks. So,
So thank you ahead of time, Jerry. I appreciate that. I'm really excited to have him as a Packer.
alrighty. Next, we have another game. Well, I think this is the game that you and I were really surprised about, and that's the Colts and the Broncos, because you and I both picked the Broncos to win last week, and now we're both looking like idiots. And you know who else is looking like idiots right now? The New York Giants.
I don't want to talk about that game. Bryce knows why. I'm not going to say why on the podcast, but Bryce knows why I don't want to talk about that game. I'm quite upset with the Broncos and their decision to step on a player and get leverage called on them. Bo Nix looked amazing. 3 touchdowns. Played lights out. You cannot blame him for the defense's inability to stop Indiana Jones. And I'm sorry, Bryce. I understand that you don't like Daniel Jones. He's looking pretty good. Of course, I want to see what he does this week. Again, you want to keep giving him more time, but he looked really nice. And the Titans are a decent defense, so he can do it again. I might want to start believing in him.
Alrighty. Next, we're gonna go to what turned into one of the best games of the week. It didn't start off that way. We have Carolina and Arizona.
Yeah, Bryce, what's your first thought on that game?
Bryce Young shook off the early game jitters and played one of the best QB games of the year. He did. 358 yards, 3 touchdowns. That is the third most passing yards put up this season already behind Josh Allen and Geno Smith. Bryce Young has the
Russell
third
Wilson
most
had
passing
450
yards. Oh
yards.
yeah, that's right. He had 450. That's right. I forgot. Russell Wilson was not bad for once. He was finally not bad for once in his career. What do you think of this game?
You know what's ironic about this game? This game makes me realize how underrated the Jaguars defense is. Because if you look at what Bryce Young did against the Jaguars defense, how awful, like absolutely awful he looked. And then look at the game he had against the Cardinals. And then also look at the game that Jake Browning had against the Jaguars. Their secondary is not to be messed with.
No, Travis
It's
Hunter and Tyson
ironic that
Campbell.
I'm talking about a different team than the two teams, but this game really helped me see the Jags have a genuine defense and they are contenders in their division. And I have to give a little bit more respect to them. But no, Bryce Young had a great game. I also believe Kyler Murray had a really nice game as well. And the end of the day, they won the game and they're 2-0. And you got to question if Carolina, if Arizona can actually continue this momentum.
Alrighty, now we're going to talk about a game that we talked about a lot already because of injuries that have happened. We're going to talk about Green Bay and Washington. I'm going to give you the floor because this is a big game for you.
Should I just start tuning up the band? Should I start planning my trip to Green Bay in February? Of course, I don't want to overreact, but man, the Packers look like they might be the best team in the league. Jordan Love, outstanding. Josh Jacobs, elite. Tucker Kraft looks like he's a top 10 tight end in the NFL. Romeo Dobbs, it really hurts they're going to lose. I believe it was
Jaden Reed,
Jaden Reed. Yeah, that him going down is going to suck.
that one's going to suck.
Matthew Golden getting involved with the run game is really interesting to me, and I like it because it worked both of the times they did it. I want to see him get more passes, but no, I really like it. And also, it's nothing but respect to the Commanders. They played a good game. They fought hard, but the Packers just outplayed them, and they got outcoached big
They
time.
couldn't, Washington couldn't run the football. That was their downfall.
I really think if the Commanders could run the football better, it would have been a very different game.
Yeah. And I think that we sleep on a lot of the Packers. Like Marshawn Lloyd hasn't played yet this season, but I really like what Chris Brooks did the other night out of the backfield as a
Mhm.
pass catcher. If Marshawn Brooks doesn't work, or if Marshawn Lloyd doesn't work out, I think Chris Brooks could handle third down duties for the Green Bay Packers. And you still have Emmanuel Wilson too, who is a really solid third string slash backup right now.
But you also have a guy like a Romeo Dobbs who can run that, or a Jaden Reed when he's healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Jaden Reed come out of the backfield plenty of times. Also, for a slip screen, Romeo Dobbs is probably the best guy on the team for that. In my opinion, I think Dobbs might be the number one.
I think he is too.
And it's just they're looking fun. And still, nothing but respect to the Commanders. They're a great team, but the Packers are just better.
Alrighty. Now, let's talk about Tampa Bay and Houston because Tampa's looking
I'll be right back.
dangerous. Tampa's looking like the second best team in the NFC. And Green Bay, yeah, I think that Tampa has definitely surpassed Philadelphia, I think. I think. What do you think?
Baker Mayfield. I'm telling you, man, give him the respect he deserves. He is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, and he's proving it. Tampa
Yeah, I
Bay,
was wrong.
their defense is proving how good they are. But I'm telling you this now, Todd Bowles does not get enough respect for the coaching he does. This offense, everyone talks about how without Liam Cohen, they're going to fall off. Everyone said, nope, Liam Cohen's gone. This Baker Mayfield's done for. Are you kidding me? He's looking even better than he did last year
I
already.
mean, they also said that when Dave Canales went to Carolina,
And the
that Baker
question
was
is,
going to fall off, and then Liam Cohen came in,
and
and then
here's my thing.
he played better, and now he's arguably playing better
And
than after Liam Cohen left.
when are we going to stop saying that they're a quarterback whisperer and just say that Baker Mayfield's a good quarterback?
I don't know. Well, to be fair, Liam Cohen and Dave Canales have both made Trevor Lawrence and
Yes,
Bryce Young look
but
incredible.
Baker
So
Mayfield
I
is
think
just
you could
genuinely a
say
very good quarterback. Like, it's time to give him the respect he did. He outdueled CJ Stroud and clearly did. He genuinely outplayed Stroud, and not even there was not a question about it.
now I think I do want to put a spotlight on Houston for this because do you think that this is early seasons? Do you think this is Houston playing a tough first two games, or do you think this is Houston just not being a good team?
I think this is early season jitters. It also really comes down to the fact that they have no offensive line. CJ Stroud once again is running for his life. And you're going to hear a lot of people saying CJ Stroud had a flash in the pan rookie year. He's still a great quarterback. Watch him play. The guy can ball. He has
That
nobody.
touchdown, that pass he threw to Nico Collins in the end zone, my God, that was
My
one of the
fantasy
best
team.
catches. That was one of the best catches I've seen in the last
He
few
look,
years.
look, I got Nico Collins on my fantasy team for a reason. And I really struggle with the fact that people are going to instantly assume that this 0-2 start is CJ Stroud's fault. If you look at the stats, he went 13 for 24 with a 54% completion percentage,
Which is not great.
207 yards, not great, 207 yards and a touchdown, but he got sacked 3 times. He also ran for 27 yards, had a 97.1 QBR.
Yeah,
Now, yes, you look on the other side of the ball, Baker Mayfield was significantly better, but Baker Mayfield has a fantastic offensive line blocking group.
arguably the best offensive line of football.
If it's not
Without
Detroit
without
or
Tristan
Philly, it's not.
Wirfs, they didn't have Tristan Wirfs either, and he was clean all game.
You watch how much time he had in the pocket. It was insane. And
Yeah,
this makes me wonder how dangerous Tampa Bay really is.
yeah,
The question, are they going to give that division back? Probably not. No one looks like they're going to take that division.
yeah. No, I was dead wrong. I was dead wrong. I think you and I both were dead wrong.
No, I picked the Buccaneers.
Oh, no, then I was actually
I
dead
have
wrong.
faith in the I have faith in Baker Mayfield.
I was wrong about Baker Mayfield. I've been one of Baker Mayfield's biggest haters from day one. I've been one of his
He
biggest
has.
haters from day one, and I'm definitely eating my words right now
You are
because Baker's
100% eating your
he
words.
was in MVP conversations last year.
Rightfully
He
so.
was in MVP conversations last year. Rightfully so. Yes, I looked like an idiot last year. And I'm pretty sure I won a fantasy championship with Baker Mayfield the first year he was in Tampa Bay. I'm pretty sure I won a fantasy championship with Baker Mayfield. Alrighty. So now we have the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. Let's talk about that game because JJ McCarthy is once again proving me right.
Honestly, I like to talk about the fact that this is a revenge game. Michael Penix got himself some payback for the national championship. But what I think
Yeah.
is really important about Atlanta is their run game. How good Algier and Robinson look together. They combine for over 200 yards. They're a team that you do not want to let get up on you big time because if they have to run the ball, they're going to do it well. And Penix is continuing to look very good. He's looking like a solid quarterback who's not going to lose you a game. So I'm really impressed with Penix. Once again, him being an older player helps out a lot here, He's smart, he's mature, he knows what he's doing versus a younger player in JJ McCarthy who's going to make those rookie mistakes. The Falcons, I don't think they're going to stay their division, but I do generally see them as a potential wild card team.
Alrighty, we do have a little more time than I thought. So let's talk about Jadeveon Clowney signing a one-year deal for $3.5 million with the Dallas Cowboys. How do you think that this is going to affect them? Do you think it's going to help them? Do you think it's going to hurt them? Do you think it's just going to keep them staying the same?
I don't see it being much of a difference maker. Jadeveon Clowney is not the player he was 5 years ago. Um, he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's not going to fill the Micah Parsons hole. And I
Nobody
don't think
is.
anyone ever will. Unless
No.
you're getting a Miles Garrett or a TJ Watt,
Unless you're Reggie
not gonna
White,
fill.
Aaron Donald,
You're just
Miles
not. And I
Garrett.
get it. You know what? It's a patch job, but he has been on so many different teams the past few years. I just don't see him being any kind of a difference maker
That's
for them.
fair. That's fair. I do think it is an upgrade because he is still a solid pass rusher. He is
He's a good
still a
pass
guy
rusher, but
who can get to the quarterback, and he's still a guy who can get you sacks and put pressure on the quarterback, but he's not a difference maker
so
like Micah Parsons is. But
my question is, you watched the game against Washington, right? You saw how
Yes.
he only had half a sack, but how important he was in that pass game.
Yeah.
I, I just don't see Jadeveon Clowney ever being close to that.
Yeah.
Prime Jadeveon Clowney, college Jadeveon Clowney still wasn't even that.
I saw somebody I saw we're detracting a little bit for a second. I saw somebody on Instagram saying that Kyle Van Noy with his 12.5 sacks last year is only making $4.7 million dollars. And Micah Parsons, who only had 12 sacks last year, is making $40 million dollars. And how the pay disparage for sacks, and it's the most overrated thing. People obviously don't watch Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a game wrecker by himself. There is a reason why everybody was outraged at the Dallas Cowboys for trading Micah Parsons. I'm telling you right now, if the Baltimore Ravens traded Kyle Van Noy, there would not be this level of discourse that there was for Micah Parsons when he got traded.
So, as someone who watched the game, um, who watched it very closely, by the way, who watched both of their games very closely, one big thing that people don't think about in a difference when they're talking about sacks versus just numbers of sacks versus impact on a game. When Micah Parsons bulldozes Penei Sewell like that, Jared Goff has to throw the ball instantly.
Yeah.
First read or second read probably isn't open. He's getting rid of the ball. Jaden Daniels had to throw the ball instantly. So many times
Ah,
in the two games we've watched, Micah Parsons has forced the quarterback to throw the ball away or throw a bad pass just by being himself. I respect Kyle Van Noy. I think he's a great player, but I think the idea of comparing sack numbers is a really dumb idea, especially for someone who just doesn't watch the game and sees the impact of these players.
yeah. Sacks is the most overrated statistic when talking about pass rushers because getting sacks doesn't necessarily mean you're a great pass rusher because you can get sacks and that's it. That's why a guy like Yannick Ngakoue, with how great at sacks he was a guy who couldn't consistently keep a job because you look at his QB hits, you look at his QB pressures, it was absurdly low for the amount of sacks that he got.
And then you also look at something that they don't really talk enough about is Micah Parsons is also very effective in the run game.
Yeah.
You have to look at the fact of how scary he is as a pass rusher, that it makes teams force themselves into a run when they probably shouldn't run the ball. And the rest of the Packers D line that is outstandingly elite at stopping the run then steps up. But it people are going to talk online because they always want to hate something.
Yeah.
Titletown will be hated on forever, and that's fine with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. So, before we get into week three, I just want to talk about Thursday Night Football, the promo hype. Did you watch? You watched? Yeah, you obviously watched it.
Yeah, I sent
But
you guys the video.
yeah, I'm wondering because they recorded me for like 10 minutes straight. They recorded the Panthers fans for like 10 minutes straight. So I'm wondering if each week they're going to include little bits, different other bits of Thursday Night Football. Yeah, I'm excited to see it tomorrow, how it's going to look.
For those
But
of
yeah, no.
you who are not included in this, I'm going to try to edit it in, but Bryce was on the Thursday night football promo. It is on our TikTok. It is on Bryce's Instagram. So
It's on my YouTube as
his
well,
YouTube. Bryce was in the Panthers section for the Thursday night football promo. So if you didn't
yeah.
get a chance to check it out,
Even though they're not on Thursday Night Football, but the Panthers got featured.
yeah.
So, yeah.
But let's head on into week three predictions, Bryce.
Alrighty. So we're gonna do something as well. We're gonna add something to this because I was curious to see what our records were. So the first week, I went 10-6. The first week, you went 9-7. So the second week, I went 10-6 again. And week two, you went 10-6, meaning through 2 weeks, I am 20-12 and you are 19-13. So what I want to do is I want to start tracking our win-loss record and see where we get through weeks 1 through 18.
All right.
And I'm thinking we should do something like a punishment or something for the person who finishes last, has to do something.
That is something you and I can handle off camera because we only have
Yeah.
10 minutes left of recording.
Yes. Alrighty. So Let's talk about Thursday Night Football first because we have Miami and Buffalo. Who do you have winning?
This is an easy one. Give me Buffalo by a
I
million.
I have Buffalo winning 34 to 14. I don't think this game is even relatively close. Yes, Miami got really close to beating New England last weekend, but New England is not Buffalo. New England blew out New York, and they put up 41 points on the Baltimore Ravens. They're not losing. They're not, this game's not going to be close. And I think that the Jets are still better than the Dolphins.
All right, Bryce. We have the Bengals at the Vikings.
Bengals at the Vikings. I have Minnesota winning 31-30.
I actually have Cincinnati winning this. I don't really have as much faith in Carson Wentz as I do Jake Browning, so I'm gonna have giving this to the Bengals. Bryce, Texans and Jaguars.
Texans at Jaguars. I have the Texans getting their first win of the year. I think they're going to win 20 to 14.
We are in agreement. I also have the Texans winning. Bryce, this is a tough one for you. Colts at Titans.
Colts at Titans. I have Indianapolis winning 31 to 14.
We're gonna
Picking
agree
against them.
again.
Picking against them has bit me in the ass the last 2 weeks in a row. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I have the Colts winning this. I think it will be a tighter matchup just because it's a division game, but I do think the Colts take this game. Bryce, Raiders at Commanders, a game we talked about having some impact earlier today.
Raiders at command. I have Washington winning 27-23.
You think
But
Marcus
again,
Mariota?
this is also depending on Jaden Daniels playing or not.
You got to lock it in now, Bryce. Who are you taking?
Oh God. I'm gonna say Jaden Daniels plays. I'm gonna say Jaden Daniels plays and they win 27-23.
I foresee him not playing, so I'm going to give this to Oakland, or sorry, Las Vegas. Wow, they haven't been in Oakland in years. Bryce, this is where we're probably going to split it up. Rams at Eagles.
Rams at Eagles. I have the Eagles winning 23-22.
I have the Rams taking this one. I really like how the Rams have played the past few weeks, and the Eagles have looked sluggish, so give me the Rams. Bryce, Falcons at Panthers.
I'm sipping the Kool-Aid again. I have Carolina winning 35-31.
I can't keep sipping the Kool-Aid. Atlanta, they're a solid team. Great run defense, great run game. Give me Atlanta. Bryce, Steelers at Patriots.
I have Pittsburgh winning 21-16.
All right. I also have Pittsburgh winning this game, Bryce. Packers at Browns. Is this a trap game or is this a domination?
The Packers win 35-10.
Have Cleveland. No, I'm just kidding. I have Green Bay winning this game pretty soundly. Another potential trap game, Bryce. Jets at Buccaneers.
I have Tampa Bay winning 31-9.
I have Tampa Bay is going to dominate here. This is a heavy game to pick, but Broncos at Chargers.
Bro, I have the Chargers winning 24-21 and moving to 3-0.
I also have the Chargers winning. I do think this is going to be a very close game as well. I don't feel as confident. I know Dad is definitely nervous about this game, especially because they could both be 2-0 right now. But I do have the Chargers sneaking out a win here. Bryce, we have the Seahawks, sorry, the Saints at Seahawks.
I have Seattle winning 23-20.
I also have Seattle winning this game. I don't think it'll be as
Seattle's
close as everyone thinks.
defense, Seattle's defense is really good. Their defense is really good.
I think it is very good. I also think that we saw a pretty decent game from Spencer Rattler last week. So I
We did.
expect us to see a similar game happening again, but I still have Seattle winning.
Oh.
Bryce, this is probably one of the easiest game of the weeks. Easiest games of the weeks, Cowboys at the Bears.
I have Chicago winning 27-24.
I have Dallas winning and a sound easy win.
Oh, that one's not even as crazy. That's not as crazy that I
Bryce,
have.
Cardinals at Niners.
I have the 49ers winning 29-13.
I have the Cardinals taking down Mac Jones and the 49ers this week. Why do I feel like we're about to agree here? Chiefs at Giants.
I have the Giants winning 23-17.
I also have the Giants winning this game.
No way.
I don't know why. I just have a feeling the Giants, Russell Wilson and the Giants are going to go in and surprise the Chiefs.
The last time
It's in MetLife.
The last time the Chiefs faced Russell Wilson, he kind of dropped them.
No, Bryce, they faced him last year in Christmas and he
Oh
kicked
yeah, that's right. They did.
their butt.
That's
Sorry,
right.
guys. Final game of
That's
the
right.
week, and we have a few minutes to talk about this. So, Bryce, Lions at Ravens, and this could be game of the week easily.
This very well could be the game of the week. You and I both said that the Lions were going to be out for blood after getting punched in the mouth in week one.
Yeah.
Boy, were they out for blood by dominating the Chicago
He
Bears.
almost
And,
tripled the Bears score.
and you and I also said the Ravens were going to be out for blood after losing the way they did in week one. And then they proceeded
We're
to,
looking at a potential Super Bowl matchup here.
yeah, this could
Um,
very well be the Super Bowl matchup.
I am giving this to the Ravens. I like what the Ravens have on offense. I think their defense is elite. The only question is, what Derrick Henry are we going to get? Are we going to get the one who faced the Browns? Or are we going to get the one from the Bills game? Bryce, who
Oh
you
yeah,
taking?
I think I picked Baltimore to win 34-31. I think that this game is going to be incredible.
In my opinion, this game is going to go down with the Chiefs versus Rams from a few years ago. I believe this is going to be a slugfest of all slugfests. Lamar Jackson might be in for a legacy game. But
Or it could be
Bryce,
Jared Goff.
I think both of them. Ironically, Jared Goff could be included in both two of the greatest games we've ever seen. So,
That's true. Yeah.
Bryce, those are the predictions for the week. You and I have a lot of different opinions, so this could either widen your lead, or send it the other way.
Yeah.
Bryce,
One of our gaps is widening severely.
one of us is getting looking like we might be taking on a very serious punishment this offseason.
Yeah.
Bryce, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on TikTok. Well, you can find both of us on TikTok at Cold Cat Sports because we are both take control of the Cold Cat Sports account now. You can find me Bryce Official on TikTok. You can find me Cold Cat Card Packs on TikTok, YouTube as well as Cold Cat Sports, Cold Cat Productions, and Cold Cat Card Packs. Instagram is Bryce Official, Cold Cat Card Packs, Cold Cat Sports, and X is B Shuttle 14.
All right, now that Bryce went through his laundry list of social medias, Matthew Kendall on YouTube and Instagram, and I believe TikTok. So we enjoyed doing this for you guys. Let us know what you think of our picks. If you hate them, if you love them, let us know what you're thinking,
Yeah,
guys.
let us know either way, please.
No matter what, hey, we have fun
Oh,
doing this.
also, if you guys watch our TikTok, we are trying to do a getting to 10,000 subs on the TikTok before the end of the football year, and we are going to do a
Yes,
jersey
you
giveaway.
have
So,
until February to get us from practically
yes,
5,000 to 10,000 followers. We will be running all of our followers through an AI program, and we'll be picking the winner on a live stream. We
yes,
will pick you your favorite team, favorite player. Bryce and I will split the price, and we will be shipping it out to you.
yes,
You got to follow us, and you got to let us know
yeah.
you followed.
Follow us, subscribe, comment, just so we know that
Do it
you are
all.
actually active
You are
and you're
more likely to win this, and it'll be easier to find you if you are commenting and
yes,
liking the videos.
yes.
But hey, we had a great time, guys. Peace.
Peace. See you guys later.